Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Suhana Vash, and today we'll be discussing oil, wars, and dollar. For decades, global politics has been shaped by two questions: who controls the world's oil and who controls the money used to buy it? The answer typically points out to United States. This influence was built over 80 years through calculated blend of economic policy, strategic alliances, and military force. The foundation was laid in 1944 at Bretton Woods Conference. To rebuild the post war world, 44 nations tied their currencies to the US dollar, which was itself backed by gold at $35 per ounce. As the world's largest economy holding the bulk of global gold reserves, the US became the anchor of international finance. However, the system shifted radically in 1971 when President Richard Nixon ended the dollar's convertibility to gold. To maintain the currency's relevance, the US transitioned to the petrodollar system. Through agreements with major Middle Eastern producers, mostly notably Saudi Arabia, oil began to be traded almost exclusively in the US dollars. Because oil is the world's most essential commodity, every nation suddenly needed greenbacks, ensuring the constant global demand for the American currency. The dollar's dominance provides Washington with a unique extraterritorial power. Since most global banking runs through the dollar based clearinghouses, the US can impose financial sanctions that effectively unplug a nation from the global economy. This power has been leveraged heavily against oil rich nations like Iran and Venezuela. By targeting the energy industries and freezing their ability to transact in dollars, the US exerts immense pressure on their domestic stability. Critics, including economist Jeffrey Sachs, argue that these moves are less about security and more about maintaining a monopoly over global energy resources. Economic influence is backed by massive military footprints. The Middle East remains the world's most strategic energy hub, particularly due to the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 20% of the world's daily oil supply passes through this narrow passage. Any disruption here sends shockwaves through the global economy. To secure these interests, the US operates dozens of military bases across the region. Recent escalations, such as the strikes on the Tehran on March 2, 2026, highlight the ongoing tensions. While Western policymakers cite regional security and nuclear non-proliferation as the justifications. Analysts such as Sarah Flounders suggest these actions are attempts to preserve a fraying global hegemony as economic dominance faces new challenges. The era of unchallenged dollar dominance is facing its stiffest test yet. A process known as the de-dollarization is gaining momentum, led by the BRICS nation Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Whereas bilateral trade in countries are increasingly settling oil contracts in local currencies or the Chinese yuan. Alternative systems, such as the new financial messaging systems, are being developed to bypass the US led SWIFT network. Reserve diversification is also another method where central banks are slowly reducing their holdings of US Treasury bonds in favor of the gold and other assets. Despite these shifts, the dollar still accounts for approximately 58% of the global foreign exchange reserves. Its infrastructure is deeply embedded in a DNA of global trade. Is global power driven by military strength or by the control of energy and currencies? In the American model, the two are inseparable. The military protects the trade routes and allies that upholds the dollar. The dollar in turn funds the military and provides a non-kinetic weapon through the sanctions. As long as oil and global finance remains linked to the US financial system, Washington will maintain its seat at the head of the table. However, as the world moves towards a multipolar energy market, the 80-year reign of the petrodollar may be entering its most volatile chapter yet. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Stay connected for more updates.